Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Friday, the 10th day of November, 2023, Friday of the 31st week of the year, the 31st week in Ordinary Time. Today is also the memorial of Pope St. Leo the Great, Doctor of the Church, great Pope in the early centuries. He was Pope in the 400s, 500s, somewhere around there, 400s, 500s. His big thing was that he stopped Attila the Hun from taking over, from sacking the city of Rome. So again, as the imperial government flees the city of Rome because of the increase in barbarian invasions, it is Leo who stays in the city of Rome as caretaker. And again, he establishes himself as a leader, amongst all people, whether they are believers or not, because of the care that he shows the remnant of the people who cannot escape from the city with the onslaught of invasions and things like that. And because of that, again, it continues to build an impression among people about what it is that faith can do, what it is that the church can be, what is it that leadership within the church should be about. And it's perhaps shown better and more courageous and more organized than was the imperial leadership that was falling apart during this period in history. So we remember him and this great work that he did, many letters that he wrote, many thoughts he gave on who Jesus was and how to understand him and how to understand the revelation that he brought about. So it is good that we remember him on this day. Coming to you from the courtyard of our Franciscan school here. Again, chairs were set up because we have just finished our Veterans Day celebration with all the veterans who are attached to our student families here at the Franciscan School. We have a flag that was designed and created by our art teacher, Ms. Leonard, that has all the handprints of the third graders who were kind of given a leadership role in constructing this morning celebration in which we honored our veterans. They are now all about the school, visiting classrooms, giving talks to students and things like that. So happy Veterans Day early because it's tomorrow to all of our veterans here as part of this parish and all over the United States. Our readings for today, there are special readings again for Pope St. Leo, but the readings for today are what most people will hear. We are finally coming to the end of this incredibly long letter that Paul wrote to the Romans, to the church at Rome, in all of its many shapes and sizes. And as we come to the conclusion of it, Paul again reiterates what it is that he was trying to do, that he writes this letter so that people can live the life to which they have been called if they are truly going to be believers, if they are truly going to embrace what it means to be a people who look at the world differently, who embrace things differently, respond to what we experience differently than those who do not have faith and who refuse the great revelation of Christ. And he goes on to say that his mission is to bring as many people as possible, into understanding this. Again, quoting Isaiah, where Jesus, where it is said of the servant of God that what happens to him should have echoes and reverberations throughout the world, throughout all of time and space, so that those who have not seen may see, and those who have not heard may hear the wondrous things that God can do and the wondrous ways that God can establish relationship with us. So, Paul again summarizes, all of this together as he moves to the conclusion of this letter. So many things again that were contradictory in it, and so many issues that seems to kind of arisen. It was not written in one breath. There are several. It seems to be a cobbled together of many different kinds of letters that were written. But again, the whole idea was so that people may be able to live their faith in authenticity, to live their faith with conviction, to live their faith with an ability to have that faith impact and shape their lives and shape the world in which they live. The gospel for today, again, as we move to the conclusion of our church year, we come into those more quasi-apocalyptic, meaning looking towards the fulfillment of God's plan and promises, kinds of readings. And so in Luke, there is this great parable, again, that Jesus gives about a servant who disobeys or something. He disappoints his master, and so the master is going to release him from his duties. And the servant or the worker basically says, I have come accustomed to living a happy life and a good life and a fulfilling life, and I do not want to. I'm too old to beg or too proud to beg and too old to work. And so, what am I going to do? Well, he was in charge of different accounts, and so he makes the people that owed money to the master owe less, so that those people will think of him fondly and be able to help him out once he loses his job. And it's a wonderful, shrewd way of acting. Just make other people like me and build up my relationships with others when I've messed up so badly that I'm going to lose my position, lose my job. And so Jesus commends, the master commends that servant or that worker for being so shrewd in doing that. And then Jesus says that the people of this world, are more able to work, within it and know how to deal with it than are the children of light, which again is an interesting kind of critical slap that Jesus is giving to his followers and giving to those who are trying to live this life. But there's a truth to it. Again, we hear this every year, and the same message has to be repeated that comes from this gospel. If we are going to truly live this life of faith to its fullness and in its truth, it means that we take seriously what it is that God is asking us to do, which is radical, and it seems absurd and ridiculous and daring and uncertain and whatever it is. But God says, if you do what I ask you to do, if you love without barriers, if you forgive everything that everyone has done against you, if you allow mercy to bring understanding to your life, if you give and never count the cost, and if you stop judging, life will be different. Life will be different. The children of this world know how to act so that they can get what they want. You should get what you want, Jesus says, as people of faith, as people who dare to believe. But you have to start living in a way that allows what it is that you deserve to be given to you. A blessed day, St. Francis and people of God. A happy early Veterans Day. May the Lord give you his peace.